Hello, my name is Brainerd Carey. Today, I want to talk to you about another way of getting local support and help. There's a lot of ways to find collectors, to talk to people who are interested in the arts, and I've talked about them in other videos. I often talk about going to museums and finding out who the patrons and trustees are of that museum. But there's another way. No matter where you live, in what town, and I'm talking the United States, but there's something like this that happens in Europe as well, there's always a chamber of commerce. Now might not be a place you thought of as going to before, but I would strongly suggest you visit your chamber of commerce. And this is why. This is what could happen if you're interested. This is a powerful way to meet people with money, meet people who are creative but not artists in most cases, and to sell art to them. If you go to your local chamber, which you can look up, and small towns have them, big towns, cities, they all vary tremendously depending on the size of the town essentially. You go to the chamber, make an appointment if you'd like, sit down, and tell them, I'm an artist, that's my business, I sell art out of my studio. I'm interested in meeting more people who are interested in art, and I'm interested in teaching people how to collect art. A chamber of commerce is a place that wants to encourage you. They also want you to be a member. It's going to cost something. It's going to cost you $50 a year or $200 a year, but it's going to cost you something. And they're going to sell you a little bit on it. They're going to say, oh yeah, we have a great number of businesses here, and that sounds like a wonderful idea. You're going to get positive feedback because they want your business in with them. They're going to say, well, do you have a store or how does it work? And you can say, no, I have a studio. I bring people to my studio and I show them work. But one thing I'd also like to do for the chamber and with the chamber is if you have a lot of business clients, I'd like to give them a small talk in how to collect art. This is very powerful. I've worked with many artists who do this and spelled out the entire presentation for them, and it worked. And this is how it works. They'll say, wonderful, we'd love you to come and give talks. Join the chamber. And usually there's a bar that people meet in regularly. There's networking that happens with chambers where they'll say, you know, we always go to happy hour at this bar on Tuesday or Thursday. Come to that bar, and you know it's a chamber event and you'll meet other people. And that's where you can say, I'm an artist. I teach people how to collect art. I sell art to people. You're talking about your own art, of course. So if the chamber asks you, how are you going to teach people, this is how you do it. And it's a wonderful way to not only talk about your art, but get people to buy it. You give a slide presentation and you tell them this. I'm going to give a slide presentation and I'm going to explain to people why it's important to buy art, how to buy art, how to know if it's good art, and why art is a good investment, not only in terms of money, but also in terms of enriching your environment in general and enriching your person. If you do this, the way I would briefly suggest laying out the presentation is to talk in initially general terms. Is art a good investment is how you can start off, and you can look up statistics on the internet to show people have made more money with art than any other commodity that there is. And then you can talk about how do you know the art is good? How do you know you like it, and how do you talk to an artist? These are not things that people know. You know it as an artist, but most people do not know how to do this. They're afraid to ask artists, is that for sale? What if it's too much? Are they insulting the artist if they don't want to buy it? This is how people think. They're not sure what to do. So what I would suggest is you walk them through the steps of how artists think, how they work. You know, make it 20 slides, maybe 15, 20-minute presentation at most. And at the end of the presentation, explain to them how to be in touch with an artist. Say, I'm also an artist. If you want to be in touch with me, all you have to do is give me your card after this presentation, and I will follow up. And say, if you come to my studio, if you're interested in work, and you decide once you're there that you don't want the work, or you're not interested in my kind of work, that's okay. We'll have a discussion, and you're not obliged to buy anything. That's how it works in a gallery. That's how it works in a studio. This will put them at ease. This will give them an education. This will be exciting. And you will make a lot of connections and sell work this way. It's a tremendously underused avenue for artists to connect. And it's one way that you could connect with other people and network with businesses and people who have money. Thank you for listening today and for either subscribing to this video series or being on my mailing list. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments below. If you're ever interested in personal mentoring, I have a waiting list for that now, but you can book a time to talk to me about it, also using the links below in this YouTube video. Thank you. I wish you the very best for your career and look forward to hearing about you and your success using this method if you choose to do so.